What do most realtors sell a year? How many houses?
40, under 40 and under.
Just so you know, the average realtor sells about 6 houses a year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My realtors in my coaching company sell between 50 and 100. Got it? And you sell how many houses a year?
In 24, we sold 413.
413 houses. That's like 35 a month. That's how many houses you sell.
That's a lot of houses, but yes.
I'm sure you have a mega team of 50 agents, correct?
No, I actually don't have any buyer agents.
So you don't have any buyer agents. So what does your team look like? Because a lot of people are trying to build a team to be able to sell 300 houses a year. That's about how many million in real estate?
We did 117 million.
So 117 million in real estate sold by you without a really big team, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So what the team looks like, everybody, and we call it a boutique style firm. Everybody is a licensed realtor. Not everybody sells. So I have 7 what we call RP1s, which are in-house administrative type roles.
So you have like 7 assistants to help take care of all your clients. And you have how many actual people that actually do some sales?
So I have 3 showing assistants. They are all salaried plus commission based off of the sale. I do not have any agents on a split, which is the traditional realtor model.
Okay, so in a normal sense of business, you have 7 admin people and you have 2 kind of like helpers that help you show properties, correct?
4.
You have 4 of those. So there's like 11 people taking care of 340 clients. So you must be super duper busy. What does your schedule look like?
So I operate by a very strict time block. It's really important that I start my day exactly the same way. So my schedule looks like I wake up, I do my morning routine. I get to the office at 9:30, but I get up at 5:30, 5:45. That's my me time. I do my journaling, I do my workout, my cold plunge. That's when I get my head right. So when I get to the office, I'm ready to rock and roll.
So you're at the office about what time?
9:30 a.m.
And work until about when?
6 p.m.
So work until 6 p.m. and how much weekend work?
I don't work on the weekends.
So no weekends, 9 to 6, and you sell 300 houses here. Most people are going to find that hard to believe. So how long have you been a realtor? You must have been a realtor like 30 years.
No, I started selling in 2016. Prior to that, I was working.
Realtor for 9 years. What did you do prior to real estate? You must have went to like MIT or Harvard or something like that.
Oh, I would love to tell you that, but I was working in a deli with in a little tiny town. I wouldn't even call it a town. It's a village. We don't even have a stoplight, but I was a single mom. I had 3 kids. If I was seeing it in front of you, I would be asking you if you wanted fries with that. That was who I was in January of 2016. In June of 2016, I was selling real estate.
How did you decide to get into real estate? How did that happen as a career?
Oh, I was 3 months behind on my mortgage and the school was calling because I couldn't feed my kids. I couldn't send them lunch money and they were eating cheese sandwiches. And I went to bed one night and I prayed about it and I knew that I was built for something more. So I told God, when I wake up, I want you to give me a positive direction. Am I going to be a nurse or am I going to go into real estate? And my grandparents had always had investment properties, so I would help around with that. I did have one investment property prior to getting divorced, which I didn't end up with. So I had a little bit of taste of it, but nothing that I could educate anyone at that time.
So it was either nursing or real estate. Why was it real estate?
Because I don't like blood.
Okay. So how did you get into real estate? Did you go on a team? Did you just become an agent? How did it start?
So I didn't know a lot about it. I reached out to the lady that had sold my house prior and asked her how to get into it. She directed me to her brokerage. I went in. They said, this is who you call to get licensed. I had 3 weeks of babysitters lined up. So we didn't have online classes that were an option at that time. So I drove 3 weeks in a row to get my license. I knew I couldn't do anything without a babysitter until they were out of school. So I started selling the end of May. And for me, I think the biggest part of my success is that I didn't have a backup plan. I think so many realtors get into selling real estate for extra money, for vacation money, as a secondary job. Like, I needed to make this work. I didn't have a plan B. It was whether I was going to be able to house and feed my kids.
So I will tell you that I look at like, I fell into mortgages, you fell into real estate, you just started running full speed. Well, I was running like 80 or 90 hours a week. Did you go through a period where you worked a ton of hours?
I did. So I was about a year and a half into the business and things were great. I was digging myself out of debt. I was able to feed my kids. I got my house payment. I was taking my kids on vacation. I was living a luxury life compared to what I had been. And I wasn't paying my taxes because I didn't know you had to pay taxes. And then I was introduced to the IRS. So I had to figure out how to start saving money. And then the busier I got, the more people wanted from me. And I crashed. I literally was sitting in the parking lot at our brokerage getting ready. I wanted to go back to the deli. I wanted to go back to a simpler life. I was not seeing my kids. If I was at their sporting events, I was not fully present. I was on my phone. I had no idea.
But at that time, you were working about how many hours a week?
It felt like 100. What my day looked like is I would wake up at 5:30 and get myself ready. I was not working out. I was not taking care of myself. I would get my kids ready, feed them breakfast, get them to school. I would show and list all day. I would come home, feed my kids. When they would go to bed, I would do all of the administrative work. So I was running on about 2 hours of sleep. I crashed and I burned hard.
And then what got you, how did you reset?
So I had a lender, Aaron Denton, who's also with the core. As we all know, as realtors, lenders are always chasing us for our business. And Aaron had come to me a few months earlier and he caught me when I was weak. And it's been the biggest blessing ever because he introduced me not just to the core, but how to run a business. And I told him what I was getting. He called me about a deal and I said, I'm getting ready to turn my license into the brokerage. This is not for me. And he said, please give it one more opportunity. I have someone I want you to talk to. He introduced me to somebody from the core who called me immediately, talked me off the ledge, invited me to the summit, which was completely life-changing for me. And I think when people see the summit or these seminars and these get-togethers, they think it's a lot of woo-woo, rah-rah stuff, and it's not. It's real people going through the same things. It's people that have been in a situation very similar to what I've been in. I thought I was going to get there and I was going to be beneath everybody. And in fact, everybody started from the same way. We're all broken. We're still broken. I'm still a mess. I have a lot to work on. But I would not be in real estate if it wasn't for that summit. And I think it was in 2018 that I attended that.
Well, I think that everybody has either they can call them defining moments or they